Hello everyone and welcome you all to another chapter of the DaVinci Resolve Essential tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 12 and here I'll be explaining you guys about the Fusion page in the DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so in Fusion page we will be able to do a lot of things. Okay, I'll be showing you guys how you can actually work around with the nodes over here, how you can mismatch them and afterwards get perfect result out of that. Okay, so we'll be learning about that here in this particular class. So let's not waste time and let's get started on learning the Fusion page in the DaVinci Resolve. So here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the workspace of the DaVinci Resolve. And this one is the edit page, which I was showing you guys in the last class as well. Okay, so now just beside the edit page, I do have the Fusion page right over here. Okay, so you guys might think that, okay, what this page is about. Okay, so here, as you guys can see, I do have my media pool over here. Okay, and here are two of the screens, and here I do have my inspector panel. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will try to import a media here into our panel over here. Okay, so once I import any media over here, as you guys can see, I do have both of these things. Okay, so let's first try to understand what media in is and what media out is about. Okay, so basically media in is the input, okay, what you have put over here, and media out is the final result what we will see. Okay, so here if you come and if you want to view it in the first screen over here as well, okay, you just need to click on one from your keyboard. Okay, if you want to off this one, you guys can actually create one again. Okay, if you want to mute the second page over here, you guys can click on two. Okay, again if you want to view it, you guys can click two and one respectively. Okay, so this is the difference. You guys can actually change the spacing kind of over here. So as you guys can see here, this one is media in. Okay, whatever output I'll put, like the input I will put here, and media out, this one is going to be the output at the end. Okay, and here this is all about creating a graph. Okay, so here in this class I'll be just going on with the basics of Fusion page. Okay, if you want to learn more about that, okay, first you need to learn about the basics of what Fusion is. Okay, so here this is the inspector panel over here, and here you guys can see I do have a lot of options, okay, or kind of tools over here which I can basically use here. Okay, so first let's come here again in the edit panel, and here you guys can see I do have this Fusion page over here. Okay, as you guys can basically see, I didn't put anything here in my timeline, but as I was working over here to this particular page, I do have created this particular thing over here. Okay, and also you can do is you can just come here directly if you want to import anything. Okay, you guys can actually import some media from here as well. So now let's try to understand how this basically works. Okay. So now here you guys can see this is a yellow line over here. Okay. Suppose I want to put on some blur effect over here. Okay. Basically what we do here in the edit panel is we'll just take any video over here and go to the effects panel and directly put the effect on top of that video. But this is not how the Fusion page works. Okay, so what I'll do is suppose I do have some of these things over here. Okay, so this is color corrector, color curves, okay, for hue and curves, okay, brightness and contrast. Suppose I want to add some kind of blurry effect here in my video. So what I'm going to do is I need to click over here, and here as you guys can see I can just put on some blur effect over here. Okay, so as you guys can see I can just put on this blur effect right over here. So what happens is this is the first input, okay, which is the main video of mine, and from here what it does is it goes to this blur option, and both of these combines here, and they give the output here in the media out option. Okay, but here on my screen you guys are might not be able to see that. Okay, I'm not able to see any blur. Okay, so for that, what you need to do is you need to come here in this particular option, and here you guys can see the way how you guys basically work in the inspector panel from our edit page. Okay, so here you guys can actually work kind of like this. You guys can choose the filter, and from here basically you guys can choose the blur level. Okay, so from here, as I am increasing, it's getting more blur over here. Okay, so this is how we can actually put, as this one is the preview panel. Okay, so from here I can actually adjust the level of blur I am going to put here in my video. Okay, so here I have put the blur. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this particular place, how you can actually work with that. Okay, so this will all work like we need to create a flow chart over here. Okay, whatever things do I want to put over here. Okay, so suppose now what I want to do is I want to put on some text to the blurry effect over here. Okay, so here, as you guys can see, once I do have a yellow line, so this is a foreground. Okay, so I want my text to be on top of the blur effect. Okay, so for that, what I need to do is, here you guys can see a text plus icon. So I will just grab this one and I will bring this one kind of over here. Okay, so now I do have this particular text option over here, and what I want to do is I want to actually connect this one. Okay, I want to connect this one. So to make sure that if you're connecting the nodes, okay, with another thing, suppose with text, with a blur, or with another effect, okay, once you're trying to connect quite different things, and if you want to get media out, in that case you need to use one quite important thing, which is the merge. Okay, so this is the merge node. The same way I will drag and drop this one over here, and as you guys can see, now what I'll do is I want to put this over here, and I want to add it. And what I'll do is I will just keep this thing right over here, and now again I will just bring my text over here, and here you guys can see. Okay, and now I will just join this particular text. I will just join this one first. Okay, I will join this with this, and this one with this one over here. Okay, so we need to see what kind of line is there basically. Okay, so here you guys can see it is a yellow line. Okay, so this is a background basically, and here this is in green color. Okay, but whatever and wherever you do have your text, you need to understand by looking at the color of the lines. Okay, so this one is for the foreground, and if you do have a yellow line, that is for the background over here. But as I have actually selected this text over here, but as you guys can see, I don't have any text because I didn't select any text, or I didn't try anything. So for that, I need to directly come here, and here you guys can see I do have my text option. Okay, so from here, what I can do is I can just type good day. Okay, so I will just type good, and I will just type day over here. And the same way, what you can do is you can just increase the size over here. Okay, I did a spelling mistake. Okay, so from here, basically, you guys will be able to do this thing. If I want to change the color, I will just change the color to black and click on OK over here. Okay, you guys can adjust what type of text do I want. Okay, so from here, I will be able to get a lot of text around from here. Okay, as you guys can see. Okay, so this is how I can actually work on with the text. Okay, I have already told you guys about the text. So those are the same options which are available over here. Okay, so this is about creating a flowchart and working over here. Okay, so now, like suppose what I want to do here is I want to mask this particular thing. Okay, I just want a part of this thing or a part of this text to be visible. Okay, in that case, what I can do is, here you guys can see I do have a lot of masking options over here. Okay, so I can choose all these masking options from here. So to put that, what I can do is I can basically drag and drop it over here. Okay. Otherwise, another thing what I can do is I can just come here, select the text box. And if I directly click on the rectangle, here you guys can see I do have this rectangle box over here. Okay. So this is how you guys can actually add some mask. And here in my screen, you guys can actually see. Okay. So this is how it will basically work. Okay. So from here, basically, if you wanna change the width, okay. Suppose if you wanna change the width, okay. If you wanna change the height, okay, you guys can change it over here. Okay. And from here, if you wanna work with a lot of things, okay. And if you wanna change the border width, okay. If you wanna change the soft edge, you guys can do that. You guys can actually check out the angle from here as well, as you guys can see. Okay, and you can also check the corner radius as well. Okay, so from here you guys will be able to do it. Okay, and here, as you guys can see, you guys can get it somewhere like this. Okay, and from here what you can also do is you guys can come here and you guys can change the center, like one. Okay, and from here as well, you guys can select one and click on enter. Okay, so you guys will be able to do a lot of things over here. Okay, as you guys can see. And suppose if I just want to go back to the same position, uh, 0.5, and I will come here, and also I will go to zero point 0.5 over here. Okay, and here you guys can see back again at its same position. Okay, if you want to decrease the width, you guys can decrease the width. And if you want to increase the height, you guys will be able to increase the height somewhere like this. Okay, so there are other things like if you come here and you can actually add so many things. Okay, like you can add one node with a multiple nodes out here. Okay, we will be able to do that from here as well. Suppose what I want to do is I want my mask to be blurred. Okay, in that case what I can do is I can just bring this over here, and now I can just join this one. Okay, so from here, if I come, if I wanna join this thing onto this one. Okay, so for that, what I can do is I will here, okay, and I can just join this thing somewhere like this. So here I can just connect this one. Okay, so I can connect multiple nodes over here. And here, as you guys can see now how this one basically looks. If I just want to move it around, I can move it around quite like this. And we can do some animation over here as well. Okay, using my keyframes, we can do some animations. Okay, so this is all about the Fusion page. I have told you guys the basic over here. Hope you guys have understood. See you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.